3, 2, 1. We're back with a boxing special today. There's lots of big fights coming up. There's lots of good talking points that have just happened. And I've got two of the best boxing minds that I know with me today. British champion, 46-fight veteran Tyrone Nurse. And, well, what can we say about you, Vincent?
Fucking Bostradamus.
Everyone knows this man. Vinny Shoreman. Guys, thank you for coming on. We've got a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, just going to talk through today's sponsor, which is the 11th Commandment. I know what people are going to be saying, like, why are you sponsoring your own podcast? Because it's my podcast and I'll do whatever I want to do. So can you pull that up, please, Grant? 11th Commandment, my clothing brand. It's sportswear, loungewear, hoodies, gym wear, everything. Check out the Instagram page, 11th Commandment. Check out the website. There you can see it on screen. Yeah.
Buy it!
Anyway, let's get into it with the biggest talking point in boxing at the minute. Probably one of the biggest upsets that we're going to see this year. Probably in the last God knows how long. There's a lot of controversy surrounding it at the minute. Was Loma injured? Was he not? Tyrone, let me bring you in first. Did you see that going like how it did?
Nah, not in the slightest. I mean, like speaking to Vinny earlier, we were up in the group and giving it all the Loma's downloading his data because, you know, we all look at Lomachenko like he's a computer program because of the way he susses opponents out so quickly. And kept having to reevaluate like there were a new virus popping up every round. And to re-download. And nah, just didn't see anything like that happening. I expected a quiet 3 or 4 rounds with Lopez swinging and missing like an idiot. But it's working out whether this were Lomachenko not performing and being injured or was Lopez just a much better fighter than we all expected.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think he talked about the angles and the footwork, how he was going to stop doing that, and he did it to perfection, really, didn't he?
Perfection, yeah. I mean, every time Lomachenko wanted to step off to his angles, he pivoted and turned like it was synchronized with him in doing it. They must have practiced that millions of times for this fight, and he got it down to a T and it worked perfect for him. 23
years old as well. He's now got the world at his feet. The question is now, are we going to see a rematch? Vinny, how much do you think that an injury did play a part in that? Because obviously we know now, on the Monday after the fight, Loma has had shoulder surgery, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't look himself, did he, at all? And
to be fair, and people can accuse me of it, get my teeth in, of being biased. Yeah, I am. If I like somebody.
Who says that?
Fucking. Have you ever heard you fight with me commentating? Liam Harrison's won again on his own. But yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, when you see how Lomachenko was, his hands were glued to his head, and to step to his right, he didn't use his right arm at all. He didn't jab. It was like Ben Davison was saying. Ben Davison is a very smart guy, of course. He's saying about his non-punching movement, you know. So he was trying to get draw Lopez out. I seem like a hater on Lopez, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form. I just thought it was a bizarre performance by Lomachenko. But for me, in all honesty, the 12th round proved what Lopez is about. He came out, balls out, and he bounced Lomachenko all over the shop, and not over the shop, but at points, and you can't argue it. I was completely wrong. I thought he'd stand him on his head, and yeah, I admit that I lost $200 to a random as well.
Well, it wasn't just you, Vinny. I think everyone involved in boxing, everyone had called it that way. So they only saw one outcome in that fight.
Yeah.
But going back to what you just said about that 12 round, then that was to dig deep and bring some out of the bag like he did, because Loma came to life around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and he started to light him up a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
But to pull that out of the bag in the last round, that was he showed what he's made of, and he's only 23 as well to do
exactly.
that.
And you know what? Me and Tyrone was watching at the same time, and we was on the boxing group. Shout out to the guys on there, and it was just like, he'll get going this round.
Yeah, every round he'll get going. He needs to start. He's waking up now.
Yeah, and then but I mean, he went very left-hand happy. He went to his left from the beginning of the fight, which I thought was bizarre. I mean, we don't know what goes on between people's ears, of course, unless they tell you so. I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it? They lose.
Do you? Obviously, there's been the talk of the rematch, but he seems pretty adamant at the minute that he just keeps saying, "What's point? What's point?" Don't he, Lopez?
Yeah.
Do you think he will give him one?
What would you do, Tyrone, in that position?
See,
it's all that money being waved at you, though, isn't it?
It's the money thing, innit? Especially, I mean, Lopez recently, since he won, a few of his tweets have come out from like 4 or 5 years ago, and everything he's said, he's done. I'm going to be a multi-millionaire by 23. I'm going to be unified by 23. And 4 or 5 and more come out, he's said it. So when he says, why am I fighting these guys? I don't need to. I kind of believe he's not bothered for fighting them. And he wants something bigger.
Yeah.
Better. And he's talking like he wants the winner of Taylor and Ramirez, which that's big guys to jump up a weight and then take on the top boy of the division. But he's chasing that glory. And it was the same. I said the same thing about Lomachenko. It's not about the money. It's about the glory. When he'd already took a pay cut to do the fight, and then said, "Fuck it, I'll give Lopez $800,000 out of my already cut wage to make the fight happen."
If he's done that for him, no, surely
Well,
there's a favour owed somewhere back there.
The numbers,
there must be.
The numbers on ESPN were high.
Yeah.
Like in the 3 million. And I think it was one of the highest watched fights this year. Obviously, the lockdown, no one's doing anything. So I think Aram's got to be able to swing it somewhere along the line. And if it was Lopez and you had a 12th round, well, the next round's a 13th or 14th, as they say, don't they? So
the problem there you've got is obviously you're saying because of the numbers, but the whole world's just watched the absolute genius of boxing get outboxed by a kid.
Yeah.
Relatively comfortably.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, are they going to be
you
that
see me
interested to
bottom lip
watch it
quivering
again?
and that. There's tears in his eyes, like.
Well, what that's done though, it's sort of like ripped the old division open, hasn't it? Because he looked invincible.
It's a good division.
Yeah, he very good division. He looked invincible, didn't he, Loma? But then now, I bet everyone will be thinking, oh, maybe I could beat him, or do you know what I mean? It's ripped it all wide open. It's just turned the whole division upside down
but
now.
if you've got to look at it like this, when I've seen Tyrone lose or you, I've never thought.
Yeah.
You've got to be pretty stupid. What pisses me off about people that lose is all of a sudden the shit. Yeah, he wasn't that good at it. Oh, fuck off. You weren't saying it before the fight.
That's
Fuck
just a
off.
boxing thing, that.
Yeah, of course.
That is purely just a boxing thing, because you don't get that in UFC.
No.
I mean, I don't know if you get that in Thai boxing, but I'd imagine it's not quite as. But
No, it's
boxing,
not really.
No, because there's so many ways to lose in like Thai boxing and stuff like that. It's a bit
shocking
different,
in
but
boxing.
yeah.
You could lose to Floyd Mayweather by a point and you'd be shit.
Yeah.
Because you lost to him ultimately. It's absolute bollocks, but that's boxing for you.
Yeah, it's sad that.
Where do we see what's next for Loma then? What do we see that's going to happen if there's no rematch? What then?
Possibly go down to 130.
Yeah.
I think that's his best.
Is that what where Tank and
Yeah,
Thingy are fighting at?
That's 130.
Is
Yeah,
that
Leo
130?
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, Santa Cruz, yeah.
One thing that was evident in that fight is how much smaller Lomachenko is than these guys.
Mate,
and I
looked
saw
massive,
it.
Lopez, didn't he?
I saw it against Campbell, but Campbell don't put the size on that like Lopez, Garcia, Haney's putting back on.
Tell you where I realised how small he was against Linares. He looked tiny
That's
against
what-
Linares.
And Linares, like Linares and Campbell, they're not massive lightweights like these guys. So if he struggles because of the size, like in the interview, he's saying I couldn't get the reach and everything, then these other guys they're going to pose the same problems. Different styles, obviously, but does Lomachenko really want Garcia whipping that left hook in on top of his head?
And
at
is he
any point?
slipping? Because, look, 397. In boxing,
He's 33, is he?
He's 32.
32.
But he's 397 amateur fights, lost one.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And now the training and the stuff that he's, 100 pull-ups and all that sort of stuff. And his shoulders are, you can't, as much as you
I'm
keep going
surprised
to
his
the well.
shoulders are fucked if he's doing 100 pull-ups.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
With sets of 10.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But it's just like, the sports do take wear and tear on everybody who takes part in it. That's just the nature of the game. But I mean, to have that many fights and to live it like his dad is extremely intense. Your body's going to give up. It may have come to, and it's sad to say it may have come to an end of it, really, because it's a lot on the body.
100%. Right. We'll move away from that then. We've got a lot of big fights coming up. We'll start on Halloween, 31st of October. Obviously, there's Usyk, Chisroa, but we'll start with the undercard with a guy we know, Vinny. It's George Kambosos Jr. versus Lee Selby. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Kambosos, we watched him spar, didn't we, at Wildcard?
Wildcard, yeah.
And that was the first time I've ever watched a top-level boxer like spar like that. It was fucking impressive, wasn't it, mate? Very, very impressive. How do you see that one going, Tyrone? I'll bring you in for this one. Selby versus Kambosos. You used to fight at lightweight, didn't you, as well? Most of your fights at lightweight.
When I first turned,
Yeah. How do you see this one going?
I don't know. I've not first-hand seen as much of Kambosos like you guys have, but I've heard how well you talk about him, and I've said after hearing that, I've watched a bit about him, and he's good. He's Australian, isn't he?
Yeah, Australian.
Well, Australians don't leave Australia, and he's took himself out of that comfort zone. He's gone stateside, so you've got to have something about you to do that, and for him to be doing as well as he's doing, it only looks good for him. Selby, I mean, I've been sparring with Ricky Burns for as many years as I can remember, and I never met Selby at this point, and I remember Ricky Burns ringing me the week I'd gone back the week before I'd done like 3 weeks with him, and he rung me and he's like, "This guy's fucking huge." And he was fighting at featherweight with Selby. And I sent me a picture, and they took a picture after sparring topless, and he was as big as Burns.
Really?
And Burns is a big fucking lightweight.
I bet Burns is a big.
I just feel like since he's come up to lightweight, he's not quite been the same. He's not had the same, and that could be the same thing I feel with the Santa Cruz when we get onto that. I don't think the size, because they've been big at that weight, it's going to help him at this weight. And I just think, like you say, it's Kambosos' time. He's coming through, and I'd imagine he's going to get the
He
win.
was never like really a big hitter either, Warrior at Selby, even a featherweight Warrior. Like he wasn't like a concussive puncher or anything like that. And to go from 126 up to 135 against someone who's as aggressive as Kambosos, it's going to be a big ass.
Naturally a lightweight.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao's chief sparring partner as well.
Yeah.
He's never been dropped or anything like that. The thing is with Kambosos for me is that I think he's Greek, and he as well. Greek, he's Australian. The thing is with him, if you watch him fight Michael Bay, he punched holes in Michael Bay, and Michael Bay's tricking. He was tipped as a top, wasn't he? Because I think he was trained with Senior. He wanted Floyd Mayweather Senior. And he was trained out the Mayweather gym. No, he trains Devin Haney now, doesn't he, Bay? But Bay was a good lightweight. I think he lost that. Jay Leon Love as well. They were sort of like there was a middleweight or whatever, and they were sort of like coming up. But he punched holes in him. And I don't know Lee Selby personally, but we do know George, and we support him, so we want him to win. So I think it's going to be a hard fight all that way. It's his first real world class fighter that he's faced.
Is it an IBF eliminator? This, I think. Yeah.
Final, it might be a final.
Yeah, final.
Yeah, it's a final eliminator. Yeah,
Who's the IBF lightweight champion then?
Lopez.
He's
Oh,
got
is
them all,
it?
hasn't he?
Oh, shit.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, shit. He has, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Lopez. Yeah. So I
Lopez.
just think I don't know really. I was again biased. I'd like George to win, but Selby to class act.
Well, when we were in LA, he said to us, did Freddie Roast, and he said, "Come down and watch this guy spar." And he said, "I'm telling you, this guy's going to be world champion."
Yeah,
didn't he?
he
And
did,
that were 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was like the first time I watched like elite level fucking boxing. Now, fuck me. And they were just punching each other. It was Colombian he was sparring with.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Colombian
I think
guy.
so.
And we were watching him up. We were going, fucking hell. And Freddie Roach said, "This guy will be world champion in the next couple of years, 100%." So
Wild cards. Yeah, have you been to Wild Cards?
Not been, no, but
Mate,
I've
you'd
heard
love
those
it. It's
stories.
like I don't know.
well, what he did
Cocaine heaven for people in the boxing.
But
It's
what he
like,
did, what
yay.
did Freddie Roach, we were up in his gym, like the gym's upstairs, and he went, "Oh, do you want to come down? I've got like some elite level guys in my
He's got a little secret gym.
secret gym
yeah.
downstairs." And we were like, "Fucking right." And then what a guy, mate, because he just stood there with us for an hour, didn't he?
Yeah,
Just talking to us,
easy, yeah.
just took time out to talk to us, and he was even asking about Thai boxing and stuff like that, and telling us about other Thai boxers who would come to his gym. And he didn't have to do that, and I always think about like, what a fucking guy.
That's how, and that's why they're so loved by and adored really, because they are who they are. I think just going back to Lomachenko, I think the problem is that the language barrier is different, and I also think about what his dad does. His dad doesn't talk to anyone. I think that people take that for arrogance, but if you can't communicate, they can't communicate. And all of a sudden they get if they're not high fiving everyone like they are in America, then they just seem as evil. Yeah, right on, man.
Right, coming back to that, are we going with Kambosos? Yeah, I'm going with Kambosos.
Kambosos just for our
I think he might even stop him if he likes.
I think
Like,
the size and everything's going to play a part. And
He's a vicious body puncher as well, Kambosos.
He's just so single-minded. He's just crazy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trains like a Tasmanian devil, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and you can tell like his mindset and stuff, how bad he wants it, and how focused and stuff he is. So yeah. So on that show as well, main event, Chisroa versus Usyk. I love Del Boy. I would love to see him win, but it's just going to be a fucking massive ask in it. Let's be honest. How do you see Tyrone? What do you see happening here?
I mean, stylistically, Chisroa's made for him.
Yeah,
is the perfect fight for Usyk. I can't see out, but I won't be surprised if it's a bit like the Chisroa Fury fight too, when you just get sick of being it.
Yeah.
You just get sick.
He's another one with angles as well, and he's in his footwork.
And there's going to be all ones in front of your face. He's going to step around. There's one up back of your head, and next thing you know, he's other side of the body, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And Del Boy's a tough guy, and he don't mind, but eventually you get sick of it. Yeah, you're going to get sick of it eventually. And Usyk's that type of guy to just piss you off to the point where you just think, fuck this.
Like I said, I would love to see him win, but it is a big ask. Vinny, You see it's similar to Tyrone.
Yes, I do. But I just also know that if you watch when he boxed Joe Joyce in the WSB, he stood him on his head. And Joe Joyce is a big kid. He's not called a juggernaut for nothing. And he bumbled forward. And, Derek's...
Who's Joyce fighting?
He's fighting Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's class shows. But I like Chisroa. His value for money. And it's enjoyable to watch. He's always, he's...
That's what I love about him.
Water and kicking off.
Who's the donkey now?
Yeah.
I just love everything about him. Like everything he does, he's always entertaining.
And it's been in good humour, though, hasn't it? The banter between Usyk and him has been in good humour. So I can only see an Usyk win.
And I'd love him to win a big fight like that, because he definitely won that first Whyte fight. Did Chisroa, and he was so unlucky in the second one as well. Because he was doing well in that before he got tagged with that. That'd have put a fucking horse to sleep. That shot.
I thought Dillian won the first fight.
No, Vincent.
I did.
Oh, no.
But
I
thought Chisroa won. But either way, it were a fucking amazing
fight.
It's
not like me to be wrong, is it? Fucking hell.
Either way, it were an amazing fight. But I'd love him just to get one more fucking big push. But
you can't not love Whyte and Chisroa, because they'll fight anyone.
Yeah.
Have gum shield will travel. You know what I mean? And I like that sort of old school mentality.
But yeah, this fight, is this Usyk's second fight heavyweight?
Yeah, but with a spoon he boxed first.
Yeah, he did, Chaz with a spoon, yeah.
Do you think any of the sides will play an advantage, or do you think there's any advantages for Chisroa? Do you think that he's just his whole style, he's just going to play totally into Usyk's hands?
His size ain't going to help him because of his style.
Yeah.
It's not like having Fury dancing around and using his size, or AJ and such. It's the style of Chisroa.
He's going to walk forward and try and slug.
It's going to play into his hands perfectly. But we said that about Lomachenko.
Yeah, I don't mention that.
Mouth.
Yeah. Right, so we've got Usyk with that one. On the same night, we've got Tank versus Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz, and is Inoue versus Moloney on that night as well. Is that the same night as well?
It's November the 1st, that.
Oh, is it? Right, so...
Weirdly, I've just seen it. It's November the 1st. I don't know why, because it is the 31st, wasn't it? But
Saturday's 31st.
When I just looked on boxing, whatever it is, some boxing website I always look at, and it says November the 1st. So I don't know why, because I was convinced it was the 31st as well.
I thought 31st.
Right, Davis versus Santa Cruz. That's going to be a good fight. How do you see this one going?
You know what? It's a difficult one, because you go off performances and the previous performances, and the Gamboa one, I watched it the other day, and I watched him. He dropped him. I think it was the first round. Second round, Gamboa's ankle went, and I just thought, young, strong southpaw, aging 36-year-old who'd been lost like 4 times. Something got smashed by Crawford.
Oh man, that was a sick fight. That was, wasn't it? That when knocked each other down. Yeah, that was crazy.
Fight. And that was a few years ago now.
Yeah, it was. About 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I just thought, I just wasn't wowed by Davis. But then again, me and Tyrone was talking downstairs, and his performance against Petraza was a stunning performance, and previous to that. But I don't know. Is
this a world title fight? This one?
I think it's for 2 world titles.
Right.
And I don't know why. I think there's a discrepancy somewhere. I don't know. Listen. Don't get me wrong. I heard Tank talking the other day. And listen, trouble is when you're trying to watch Tank train, he's like, in the background.
His interviews are the most entertaining thing about him. Fucking hell, he's proper country. Like he's not all there, is he? Let's be honest, he's not all there.
He's quite slow and stuff. But he give props to Loma, didn't he? About going back to Lomachenko. He gave props to Loma, saying you can't slag his career off and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I think Santa Cruz has gone through a lot of.
There's 2.
Thank you. I think he's gone through a lot of shit, Santa Cruz, as well. His dad had COVID, didn't he? His dad had cancer, and he's just got this. I don't know. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Davis gets him out of there, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
Do you think he struggles to make weight, doesn't he, Tank, as well? Do you think that'll play any issues again?
Late on, yeah, because he's going to set a blistering pace. If you watch Santa Cruz,
look at him here. You can see him here. Look, he's not all ripped up and stuff. No. You can tell that he's not. There's a bit more weight to come off there.
Yeah, I just think and you know what? I was watching the interview the other day, And it was the media day, and he heard Floyd saying to him, "You need to go to bed earlier. Why did you stay up that late? Off camera.
Yeah.
Something about you needed to go to bed earlier. Why didn't you go? You should have been." And this, if this,
how come Floyd talk? He used to stay up till 4 a.m. and shit, didn't he? For crazy weird shit.
Yeah, but Floyd can do what he wants, can't he? It's that fucking good. But I just think with Santa Cruz, he's hard to get out of there. He's great to watch, he's
tough.
fit as fuck, and his engine's just incredible. Would I pick? I don't know. It's like that with me. With the fight, I think I won't be surprised Davis sparks him.
Yeah.
But I won't also be surprised if Santa Cruz gets it late.
Yeah. How do you see it, Tyrone? What do you reckon?
Surprised if Davis don't make weight though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because obviously he's moving back down.
Yeah, but
I keep forgetting that it's at 130 and not at 135. But
were it at 135 where he didn't make weight before?
Yeah.
Or were that at 130?
probably not made weight
135.
everywhere.
Yeah.
To be fair, that he's been at. Yeah, I just see Cruz was a big, strong featherweight, and I'm not sure how. A bit like the Selby thing. I'm not sure how big and strong he's going to be further up in the weights. I think it'd be a good fight because obviously he puts it on you. So he's going to make Tank's either going to have to fight him or we're going to see something different from him because I'd imagine he has got a nice boxing style and pedigree in him that we just haven't seen yet because we've not needed to.
Yeah.
So it could be a case of a bit of a Lopez. We might get something completely opposite to what we're expecting. If we don't, then he's going to have his work cut out because Santa Cruz is an absolute workhorse and we'll see how his strength fares up at a higher weight. But, Tank is strong, he does it hard and he's quick. So if he does just walk him onto some, pick some out, then I won't be surprised. But if, Santa Cruz drags him deep...
Santa Cruz has got to I think Santa Cruz has got to force the pace to get him tired because otherwise, if you stand off Davis... He's a natural counterpuncher, southpaws. Most southpaws are, and he'll go at that pace. And I think that's what the kind of thing with Lomachenko did. If he was trying to get Lopez to because he's big and to tire him out, moving round just all he does is step.
Yeah.
So I think Santa Cruz has got to set a pace on him to put that much on him to not make
Santa
him.
Cruz does all other than that though, does he?
No,
So,
exactly.
It's going to be more about what Tank does.
I think that's going to be a good fight. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, coming back to that weight thing, if Davis makes weight perfect and Santa Cruz does struggle coming up and he gets caught in that, he probably is going to get lit up. But if there's any complications at all with this weight, then it is going to play into Santa Cruz's hands. So, again, it is a real 50-50 prediction, Vinny.
I don't know. I'll be honest.
I think that's best we just say that from now on,
Fucking Boxtradamus. No, I actually don't know, and I think there's a lot of key ingredients in this fight. I won't be surprised. Look, I can see both things happening. I can see Davis blasting him out, getting him out of there, and he's massive. Or Santa Cruz pushing it to a point where he gets a points win.
Tyrone.
I'm the same. It's not a foregone conclusion by any means. It all comes down to the weight. Does he make the weight right? What style does he choose to?
There's a lot more behind. A lot going on.
There's a lot of variables in this one. It's not as
but is he training to lose the weight or is he training to fight? It's a thing, isn't it? They go in fat. Yeah. Then you train it. Say you got an 8-week camp. This is only got. Listen, I've never had an 8-week camp. I've been camped for 8 weeks. But you see. Is it about losing weight? Has he gone in the camp quite light and then he's got sharp for it or what? And I mean, with Davis, he goes heavy, doesn't he? It's a career killer.
100%.
It's a career killer.
100%. Right, I don't know who's going to win that fight. I'm not even going to.
I'm going to say Davis points.
No, I won't be surprised.
Davis points, but I think it'll be close.
After my recent predictions, I'm not even going to open my mouth. So, but yeah, it's going to be fireworks. I know that. Right, the same night, Inoue. Fucking killer. Yeah. Absolute killer. I don't even know Moloney who he's fighting. I'm not going to lie. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
Maloney's like 21 fights and 1 loss and 18 knockouts.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a banger, but...
What's Inoue, about 20-0?
He's something ridiculous like that. And,
can you pull Inoue's record up, Schoolie? Please.
Yeah. But I knew he's like, now that Loma's gone... Now that Triple G, I think he's past his sell-by date. It's our new one.
Yeah. He's a fucking absolute beast, isn't he? What weight is he? Is it bantam or?
Bantam, yeah.
Bantam, yeah. Bantam. Absolute killer. There we go.
Bantam.
He said he'll fight Lomachenko, hasn't he? He said he'll fight him at a catch weight.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he called him out and said he'll do it. And they're both with the same people.
Yeah, both with top rank, yeah.
What is it? 19-0 and most of his wins are by KO as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or TKO.
Yeah, of course.
Vicious KO.
Yeah. There you can see there. Oh, his last one was decision against Donaire. That was a right fight. I forgot about that fight. I forgot about that
Donair's a
fight.
great fighter.
Yeah. He's an hard man.
Donaire hurt him as well.
Man.
Donaire did have him hurt.
Yeah, that was a brilliant fight. That Moloney, Vinny, can you just tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, he's from Australia. I think he's only a young guy. He said he's going to come to knock his head off. I'm sure they all do that. But I mean, look, the only thing that stands against him is Usyk fought in Australia.
Yeah.
You don't know him outside of that. Not saying there's not great Australian fighters. Jeff Fennick springs to mind, etc. But yeah, it's an hard ask. But you know, when we first watched Inoue on, was it World Boxing Series, and he
ripped someone in half with a body shot.
Emmanuel Augustus then, second round, and he just
left out, wasn't it?
Yeah, the body shots.
Oh, it was horrendous.
The first knockdown was to the head, wasn't it? And then he took the second one to the body.
Yeah.
And that shows intelligence. It shows smart work. But this is Moloney. But he'll come to fight, won't he? And that's it. But it's when you get a taste of that power, you think.
That's it. He's going to be if he just stands there like that, surely it's not going to be.
And it's just one of those. Night. It's a God-given thing, isn't it? This is just some strange reason why certain people they just throw the same technique, but they just have something else in their hands. But like with you've got like almost sixth sense of because you look at you're not smashed up or anything. He's got that.
I'm thinking that earlier when you said 46 fights. I'm like, fucking hell.
15,
I know.
Fucking hell. I've had none and look like I've been run over.
Are we all going with Inoue stoppage on this one? Because I am.
100%.
Yeah. I can't. For me, Inoue is in a few years. I think he'll be fighting for pound number one.
100%.
Sure. Yeah.
He's top 3 or 4 in pound for pound.
He's in my top 4.
100%.
Now.
Who pound for pound? Then we've got with Canelo, Bud, Fury, then Inoue maybe.
Yeah.
Right, so that's 3 Inoue KOs. 14th of November, Kell Brook versus Crawford. I can't see this going any other way than like Brook getting punched all over the place, to be honest, because fucking Crawford is, again, he's my pound for pound number one. Freeweight champion, absolute killer. Brook has just not been the same since GGG smashed his face in, and then Spence.
Do we even know he's training Brook for this? Because he's not weighing goals.
Is he not?
No, and that's always a worry for me, that when you don't see any stuff from the gym.
Yeah.
You don't see who he's
That's
been
it.
with.
I haven't seen any promo or anything for it, really.
I think he's in Spain somewhere.
Yeah, Spain. I saw Dominic Ingle put it out saying, he's not training with us. He wanted me to train over there, and I can't do that for COVID issues, blah, blah, blah. I've got on with the fighters, sort of thing. And he's sorted the fight out himself. It's not even Eddie Earn by all accounts.
Yeah.
So it's
them sort of things. Payday for
them
him.
Sort of things sound like a cash out. If I ain't got a promoter to pay, Eddie Earn to pay, and I ain't got trainers to pay as much money, they sound like cash outs to me.
Yeah, get some money banked. One last.
He's had a long career and he's had a good career.
He had a very good career. Yeah, very good career. He beat Porter, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I thought.
Well, yeah, close. Yeah, it was a close fight.
I mean,
but
he
still
jumped up to fight GGG, which middleweights didn't want to fight GGG, and he didn't just turn into a bitch and run. He
tried to have it. Yeah.
You can't knock him.
I think that ultimately ended him though. To be fair, because it shattered his face, and then Spence shattered the other side. But they're the other side of his face that Spence did.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And they are just the two fights like that back to back, or within such close contention. Like their career enders them out. Do you know what I mean? And he just hasn't been the same since, has he?
No. I mean, the thing is with Kell Brook, it is a worry. He's thinking about you. There's a uniqueness. There's a uniqueness with the Ingle style that seems to be ingrained in the boxer, and when they go somewhere else, they don't seem to do as well. Prince Nazim Ahmed, for instance, he didn't do it when he was under Oscar Suarez and Manny Stewart.
He won't the same, or it?
No, he weren't the same. There's a system that they have that's ingrained in them. It's singing and the circles on the floor and stuff like that. But Liam Williams has done well.
It surprised me that scene. Yeah. When I saw that he was training, I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. And then, look what he's done.
Yeah, he was brilliant. In his last fight, he got caught and then he come out and he just blitzed the kid. I mean, the kid weren't in his league, but still the way he did it was, it was exceptional.
I can't believe we still all this time, and we still never got the Kell Brook versus Amir Khan fight as well. I can't believe we never did that. They've both gone off fighting ridiculous fights, getting their heads punched in on like GGG, Spence and Khan getting stopped off Brook and Crawford and stuff like that. I can't believe it. the amount of money that fight would have generated, that we never saw it.
Well, we never seen Witter and Hatton.
Yeah,
Witter and
true,
Hatton
Junior Witter,
should have happened.
Do you know what? I think Witter were all wrong for Hatton. I think
Hatton didn't like him and wouldn't give him pay. They hated him.
He were all wrong for him though as well. It could have been
dangerous. Wasn't it, Junior
He
Witter?
could whack with
Yeah, he could have.
I was there when he beat when he got beat by Tim Bradley. I was there for that, but I was there when he beat who did he beat?
Chop Carly.
Chop Carly. I was there when he beat Carly for the title as well.
Yeah, he could whack. He would switch it in. He would. I think his style might have been all the way he slashed them punches down as well. He got up.
And Hatton did bust up.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been a tough night that for Hatton. Coming back to this, then who we got? We're all going with Crawford.
Crawford middle rounds.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe, and it probably is going to be the last time we see Kell Brook.
Regardless of what people are saying. He's making one. I've seen his nutritionist, Greg Marriott, who seems a really nice guy. Like listening to what he says actually, and he says that Brook would make the weight easier. However,
he's massive.
He's
massive.
However, he's saying it on that, and then being in America and being at Denny's, different thing.
Yeah, it's how active they've been as well. Because I think a lot of fighters through lockdown didn't expect to fight, and Brook's not the type of guy who spends all his life in gym.
Yeah.
So. Again, is he just going to train to make the weight and get a payday?
When was Brook's last fight?
It was against that DeLuca, wasn't it? Mark
DeLuca last year,
and it wasn't impressive.
No, and he, like I said, he has not looked the same since the GGG fight, really. But you're not going to argue when someone that big punches your head in like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, so that's 3 Crawfords for us on that. Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin rematch, 21st of November. How unlucky was Whyte really in that fight? Because Povetkin, he looked like he was ready. He looked like he'd give up. Basically, he'd been down twice. He looked like he was about to fucking spew it. And I think he just said to himself, "You know what? I'm gonna throw one more fucking big shot, and if it misses, I'm out. And if it lands, good for me." And it fucking laid him clean out, didn't it? I can't see Whyte losing this rematch unless. But the thing is, when you're that big, I suppose he's heavyweights and he can bang. Can Povetkin, but I can't see Whyte losing this.
I couldn't see Whyte losing the last one.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
One shot,
from where they were at that point in the fight.
One shot, one kill.
Yeah.
I mean, I just stood up. I remember watching it. Fucking no, because we've known Dillian for years. That was in Thai boxing days, and I've got a soft spot for him. And but I mean, he saw that. You know, I thought about that fight is when he signed when he was in the corner, because Dave Caldwell was in the corner and he didn't train Dillian. But he was listening to what Caldwell said, because he said, turn your body side on and you throw the double jab. So it's turned side on so you can't. Well, that's when he got caught.
Right.
And I thought, I mean, it's not Dave Caldwell's fault because, he's a
Why were he in corner then if he don't train him?
No, I actually don't know. But I heard that and then I seen that shot. And obviously Povetkin set it up and knew what, gosh, he knows what he's doing. He's an Olympic gold medalist, etc. and a former world champion. But I don't know. I just think that if someone's trained you and then someone just jumps in, and you start listening to them.
Yeah.
Have you got no faith in what you've been told, or have you got more faith in this person? Or I don't know, but it's probably nothing to do with the fight. He's got caught with shots, boxing. I just thought it was a bit strange.
Yeah, I mean, going off that, Povetkin knows that he's enough to wipe him out.
Yeah,
that's one thing, one shot, you know. But one thing that I will say that people don't seem to give Dillian credit for is I've been boxing professionally near enough as long as he's been boxing. Completely.
Yeah.
So to look at where he's got in that time, he's still learning everything on the job.
He says that, doesn't he? He does say that.
You've got Povetkin, he's probably been boxing as long as I've been alive now.
Is he 40 now, Povetkin?
That's what I mean, Olympic golds, blah, blah. So he's had all the image pedigree. And then even as a professional...
all the best guys in that division.
He's done well as a professional. He's only lost to, Klitschko, AJ. There's no shame in that.
Big, tall men as well.
Big heavyweights.
Yeah, but he loses to big, tall heavyweights. And Dillian... But you know what? I'd love Dillian to win. But it's... like you said, I mean, he's learning on the job and stuff like that, and it's a hard ask.
Does Povetkin just think, right, I can get him out of there, I'm going to come out and get rid of him, or is he going to try and bide his time? Because he was looking, he was dipping and throwing to the left hook to body a lot, Povetkin, and he switched it up and it worked.
It was a fucking beautiful shot, wasn't it? To be fair, it would have took out a Rhino with that 100%.
Yeah, definitely. But are we going to get? It's like AJ said, if Dillian had set about him like I did, he'd have got rid of him.
Yeah.
So if Dillian can hurt him, is he going to go back and just get rid of him? Or is Povetkin just going to think, fuck it, I'm going for this, it's my last chance?
Because he dropped him twice, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. But the thing is, on the flip side of it, if you're Povetkin, you know something enough to think, yeah, I'll take the rematch straight away. So there's something within Povetkin that says, yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if I laid someone out like that, you've always got that in your head thinking, right, if I land, I can finish this fight.
Yeah, but also because he'd been dropped twice. So he must think, I won't get dropped with that. They're obviously both massively confident in it. And it's more exciting than the first fight now, isn't it? Because of the way it ended, yeah.
Yeah,
it played out.
Who are you going with them?
If
you
want to earn some money, anybody out there, go exactly what I say against it. My heart says Dillian, and my if he's learnt from the first fight, Dillian.
Yeah,
possibly late stoppage or on points.
I think we get a stoppage either way. Obviously, I'd love it for Dillian to do it.
It's again, it's one of them, yeah.
It's very difficult.
What he takes and learns from that loss. I'm gonna go with Dillian though. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Dillian. I think because it did look like he were about to stop Povetkin in the last fight, didn't he? Just before that bomb landed. And if he can just not make that one mistake again.
But has he recovered?
That's the thing, man. When you
get
knocked out like that,
sparked out
badly like that, and then straight back into it, he must have been straight back into training. He's obviously going to be straight back into sparring and stuff.
Well, the one good thing that we've seen from it is back with Tibbs. Tibbs worked for him.
Yeah.
So that's always a positive.
Yeah.
But
I thought Tibbs was over in. Who's Tibbs training now? Who else is he training? He's training someone else. Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah,
Billy Joe.
You're
right. You're right.
Well,
Sorry, I'm not saying you were right, but because Billy Joe Saunders is back in London as well, isn't he?
Well,
over here.
Let's go on to that. I won't going to mention that one because that's not till December, but let's talk about it. That's just been announced, and it's Saunders versus Murray. I can see this being a bit of a schooling, really, for Murray. Very tough guy, hard guy, but again, stylistically, I think he's just tailor-made for Saunders.
Yeah. Might be a bit like that Lemieux fight where he just makes a show of him.
Yeah.
12 rounds. Murray's tough. He went 11 rounds with Golovkin.
A good Golovkin as well.
Good Golovkin. He beat Sturm, didn't get it. He beat Martinez, didn't get it.
He had a good fight with Groves as well, didn't he?
That was a good fight with Groves.
Yeah.
He can take a shot.
Groves is a big super middleweight as well.
And he hits hard. Just stylistically, he's made for him.
If it's a super middle, I give Martin more of a chance to do well.
Yeah.
Not to win.
Yeah.
But I think he's at super middle. I think it's I don't think Saunders is a super middle.
No.
I don't.
Let's see if Saunders can drop this weight.
Yeah.
Size of
Fucking hell.
Well, how long ago?
When's that?
How long
that
ago?
only 5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago, yeah.
Fuck me. Do you know what? That's bad, that, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Wow.
I'm surely he's not going to be like that, is he? He's not going to be.
Well, if that were only 5 weeks ago, though, fuck, he's going to be struggling, isn't he?
Depends how all the pictures are.
Having said that, when did he be fought? I'm sure. Didn't he fight like last year and he just jumped in at fucking like light heavyweight or something
didn't
ridiculous?
He fight? He was on
when I went,
KSI and thingy Logan Paul.
Yeah. But when I went to watch,
Can you imagine being chief support to them?
Yeah.
World champion.
Yeah, but what a boxing
You
become.
get loads of likes.
Yeah, I'm sure he fought as. Didn't he fight when Eubank fought Groves or someone like that on undercard? And
I don't think so. He won't do that.
No, it wasn't that. He were around that time though. I remember watching him, and he were on undercard or something, and he was just fat as fuck. He was just fat as fuck.
He does really undesirable things, which are, me and you not fans of at all. But he's fucking good.
Oh, he's very talented.
He is so good at what he does. He knows what he's doing.
That's
and
the
he's
that's
rock
the
hard as well.
That's the bad thing about him because he does like shit that we don't like, but then he's so good that he's just fucking.
But I mean, he's tough and he's got that Tyson Fury mentality that he'll get up. He has got that gypsy killer.
I've never really seen him hurt, to be fair.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't
never seen him get caught clean.
His face were a bit bust up after the Eubank fight from when he was swinging all over it last few rounds.
Did he?
No, but I've never seen him get wobbled or looking in trouble and think, oh, he's going to go or anything like that. I've never seen that.
Made a dick of Lemieux, didn't he?
Oh, badly. Lemieux's a fucking vicious puncher as well.
He did,
very vicious puncher.
Yeah, he still is.
When Saunders is on his game, I think he gives Canelo problems.
Yeah,
stylistically.
Yes,
stylistically.
When he's on his job, he will give Canelo.
Yeah, because
problems.
Lara did, and fast, quick movers. Because Canelo's fantastic, but his feet are not very fast. He walks people down, doesn't he,
Yeah,
mate?
yeah.
But he's not he doesn't cut people. He don't cut the ring off very well. Not very well, but not as well as he should do against someone as fleet-footed as Saunders, and it'd be different. It'd be
A lot of that's down to his feet aren't as quick.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, footwork. Yeah.
And Saunders' feet are fucking
Yeah,
they're brilliant, aren't
great
these feet? Yeah.
and he's got good jab and good movement, and he's got, like yourself, good awareness of punches and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's going to be three wins for Saunders then for that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wide.
yeah. Well, as long as he fucking gets that weight down. Right, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. I don't really know what to say too much about this. It's fucking. What do we expect? Is it going to be a proper fight? Is it going to be a bit of a spar? Is it going to be a show? Are they going to throw down? What's going to happen?
I'll ask you, if someone said to you when you've retired a few years, because it'll happen, of course, and you say get in shape because you and say Damien Alamos, yeah, they're gonna just have a spar.
We're not having a spar.
You know,
Yeah, not having a fucking spar.
It's like Jones said, it's an 8-round exhibition, but we're only wearing 12-ounce gloves.
Oh, is it 12 ounce? Is it?
We're not wearing any egg
And
guards.
it's 2 minutes.
Right.
2 minute rounds.
So there's a lot of.
Well, like, there were
factors that you
talk
wouldn't
about
put
it being
into
16 ounce before. Is it 12 ounce? Is it?
12 ounce. that's what
Fucking
Jones
mate, that.
said, yeah.
With Tyson swinging fucking them bats around in 12
Yeah.
ounces. Oof. That's only 2 ounce heavier than what heavyweights fighting anyway. They weigh 10 ounce, don't they?
But I mean, look, Tyson's a phenomenal. Roy Jones, phenomenal. Hall of Famers and all that, and all-time greats. But if you watch Tyson on pads, it's all this close.
Yeah.
He's already got that distance.
Yeah.
He's close at this. He looks quicker because he's got short arms, like T-Rex, so to speak. And he's got that distance, and he fires them combinations. But they're only a little bit. If you watch Jones on pads, Jones is throwing everything for a long time from a distance.
Yeah.
And Tyson looks impressive close up, but
For 5 seconds.
have you also seen Tyson where he's got his top off and he's hitting pads? He looks fat.
Yeah,
He's got gut on him, yeah. I mean,
Right.
look, I'm not saying body beautiful anyway, but I mean, I don't know. But the trouble is with Jones,
His chin's gone.
his chin's gone.
He's gone,
Yeah.
badly gone
Chin's
as well. So if one of them bombs from Tyson lands, he's in a place now really where he shouldn't be fighting at all because he's. But McAnally will fucking knock him. When he knocks, oh my god!
And Lebdev,
There's
been
Daniel
a few,
Green.
hasn't
Yeah, but that McAnally one was scandalous.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Scandalous.
And he wouldn't have got caught with that because all McAnally touched him up, and then boom, hit him with a right hand. But Roy Jones, for me, in my opinion, if he'd have beat John Ruiz and retired, he would have been the greatest boxer of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt.
But it's like he said on the Rogan
Took
thing.
it away from him, didn't
He
he?
said, I wanted to do what Bob Fitzsimmons did. So I had to go back down to light heavyweight, otherwise I hadn't achieved it.
Right.
And obviously what he did, 25 pound of muscle, putting that on and taking that off.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
He's going to fucking take a serious toll on
But
your
he
body.
also said, I watched an interview where when he fought Montel Griffin and he got a disqualification, I think it was round 9, and he said that afterwards they'd already took my wins, they'd already took my unbeaten record off me. They took it, and then they said, right, I won't
So
bother then.
didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
No.
Right.
But I just thought Roy Jones was a phenom.
Oh, what were it?
phenom.
When he put his hands behind his back and then
Yeah, Glenn
dropped it.
Kelly
Oh
from
my
Australia.
god. That stuff like that when they were in the late 90s or early 2000s when he were in his
early
peak,
2000s.
he was fucking unbelievable. Did
throwing
he
9
fight for
left
England?
hooks
Richard
like
Woods he fought for.
Clinton
He
Woods,
fought
yeah.
Clinton
Yeah,
Woods,
yeah. Oh, mate, when around that time, he was absolutely untouchable, wasn't he?
Yeah. He fought Thingy as well. He fought Richie Woodall in the Olympics, didn't he, in 1988? But to watch him, he was so special. He was so unique, and he was so good to watch. He could rap, he could fight. He's fucking
Playing a
great.
full game of basketball and then going to fight.
And it was
nuts, innit?
that was against Eric Lucas, won it from Canada, and then
Is that what he did?
yeah,
A full basketball game, then went
and then
fought.
Really?
fought Eric Lucas, and then Eric Lucas went on and won
WBC World Champ and
WBC's
stuff, yeah.
super middleweight champion. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a shame he didn't fight Eubank. It's a shame he didn't fight Ben.
Yeah.
because
around that time as well, there were Ben Eubank, Collins, all mixing around that weight one. Those because they still have that fucking beef, Collins and Roy Jones.
Funny that is. Did you
He'd
see
have
that?
punched Collins all over the place, man.
Collins would have got the most beaten.
Oh, he
part
got
of
battered,
Yeah.
badly battered.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I remember that on the gloves are off when.
Yeah, and he
Collins,
walked off. He walked off. He fucked off, didn't he?
Yeah.
But you know what he did?
He
Steve
won't
Collins.
let it go, will he? Collins won't
No,
let it go.
but Steve Collins went round his house, Roy Jones, and took a big camera crew knocked on his door, but Roy Jones was out. Bing bong. Be here in a minute.
Bastard.
I'm at supermarket.
Proper fucked off now. I didn't know about like fucking same as what thing he does. Oh, what's he called? Shannon the Cannon.
Yeah. Chasing him and
chasing him round.
Yeah. I just think for me, Roy Jones was the best ever. He would have been if he tarnished his own career in. But then again, who are you to tell someone of that stature and that talent that they shouldn't be doing this? And hindsight's fantastic.
Do you know what? When you know, Tyrone, when you're a fighter, aren't you? And you fucking. If you want to fight, you want to fight.
Like,
you can't just switch it off.
Like that last fight of mine, I spent 5 months drinking rum every day, eating cookies and cakes. They say in 5 weeks you want to fight biggest puncher in Europe.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
fucking right.
Yeah, fuck it. Didn't even ask how much I was getting paid or anything. I said, yeah, fuck it. Straight in gym. I got arseholed in every spar by kids I'd fucking beat with my left hand tied to my right. So I've fucking absolutely nothing in me through training. I know a couple of days rest and you get in ring and had a good fucking laugh and he punched like a girl. But as a fighter, it's hard to say no.
Yeah, exactly.
You got in shape quick for that though, because he was when we were on that group.
I tried to lose weight.
We're just talking about that. And we like it's a massive because I've done it a few times when I've been overweight and the difference between training with a game plan and enjoying your camp and all and just fucking loving every minute of it or just fucking struggling and losing weight and having to run more.
You can see when someone's trained to lose weight, like when we're about with Tank, you can see it's softening. If you look, someone said to me, "Oh, you look good in that fight. You looked big." I went, "What? With my dad bod?"
Yeah,
you can see the dad bod.
Yeah.
And you could see I just trained to lose the weight.
Yeah, because when you suck it all out of you, make the weight as well. Then when you put it all back on, you don't
go on the same way. You don't fill out.
Yeah, you fill out. Sometimes you look ripped, and if you look at yourself and you think, "Fucking hell, I've put this weight back on." Or sometimes I've looked at myself and gone, "You're a fucking disgrace. What have you done to yourself here?"
Story of my fucking life.
You love angles hanging over your shorts and that. You're thinking, "Oh, fuck's sake."
Yeah, but the trouble is with you two, what you don't understand is, and from a perspective of a fan of you both, is like you look at it, and look at me, look at him, he's like, fuck off, I don't handle these. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's deceptive what you think. I think it's... I don't think it's love handles. In any either of your dad bods and all that, fuck off. Wait till you're really old, then you'll have dad bods.
Coming back to that, Tyson, how good a shape do we think he's going to have got himself in? Because he was saying on Joe Rogan, he did one pad session, didn't he? And his back was fucked for a month. They were in bed for a week. So, but how good shape do you think he's going to have got himself in? Because he looks well, doesn't he? In these clips that are popping up here and there.
It's an 8-rounder, isn't it?
It's an 8 2-minute round.
It's a fucking 8-rounder. That's a lot of rounds.
It is when you're fucking 53 years old, yeah.
I'd imagine Jones is probably in better shape. I'd imagine Jones is in better shape.
Yeah.
Physically, because like I say, he's been in gym, he's been training fighters.
I don't think he ever stops Jones because he's always doing something and he's always got his other guys to train and stuff, hasn't he?
Tyson's just been growing weed, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And smoking.
Yeah.
So unless he's got some super CBD that's sorted him out for all this time and he just didn't look like it, then. But it's like you said, the last thing that ever goes is your punch power and Tyson.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said with Jones' chin, can you pull up a photo of Tyson, what he looks like?
You know though, going back to the fight itself, though, look, he's been brilliant and all that sort of business, but you can't get away from the last time he fought was against Kevin McBride, and he quit.
He quit. Yeah.
He sat on the floor.
He did it against Danny Williams.
He sat on the floor and he quit, and he went. He'd had enough. Jones has got. If Jones can do that to him, you're going to have that. If you've got it in, look, I don't blame him. What he's gone through, getting punched in the head 150 mile an hour against massive people. You're already a millionaire. Oh, fuck it, I'll sit on the floor. I've got nothing to get up for anyway. I understand
he looks well here, to be fair, doesn't he? For 53. He looks like he's juiced out of his mind, to be fair. Look at him.
Steve Reska. But I mean, it's all right looking like that, but it's what's between the ears.
Yeah.
And when you're getting smacked and you've got that. Oh, what am I doing this for?
If you haven't got rid of Jones in 2 or 3 rounds and Jones starts whipping in triple left hooks and stuff and Tyson's not getting close, he's just going to think, what's the fucking point? I'm getting paid anyway.
Yeah. It's like what you said. He quit against Williams. Well, sort of quit against Williams. He definitely quit against McBride. He just couldn't be arsed, could he? It's like what you just said then. When he starts lighting him up, or if he starts lighting him up at some point in this fight, what's going to happen? Is he just going to think, you know what, fuck this? Yeah. Or is he going to bite down and start swinging all over the place? But like, when was the last time we saw him actually do that? Because early 90s or something like that.
That's why we watch it. That's why we watch boxing. It's so intriguing. You don't really know. You have educated.
Well, we don't know. We
I
don't know
fucking
shit. We don't know
I
shit.
shit about boxing. But
I
it's
don't even know
like-
why I'm doing this podcast about boxing.
But the thing
Got Tyrone here to carry it for us. That's why.
I said Lomachenko against Lopez in his head too.
But you know, the thing is though, with Tyson's mentality of Tyson is because Roy Jones's chin is so fragile, and because you're a big puncher, Tyson only has to touch him once, and he is gonna crumble.
Yeah.
Because you can't change what he's took. But it's an interesting fight. I think it's a bit of a circus. The trouble is with this, which I don't like, is it'll open doors for other ridiculous amounts of people.
just about
As
to
soon as
mention
this were
that.
announced, Holyfield started training,
Yep.
didn't he?
Well, I was going to mention that because he mentioned on Joe
De La
Rogan
Hoya.
like this veterans sort of thing that they've got going on, not just for boxing, for any sport.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to watch fucking.
No.
If you want to see two peak athletes, no matter what sport you're watching, you want to watch two peak athletes. Say like Usain Bolt, no one would want to watch him running at 50 years old. What would be the point?
For a
Yeah, to be fair, I'd look at it.
Yeah,
but you know
slippers.
what I mean? It's
To be fair, he's only
Holyfield's in
he's only
serious
going to be.
fucking hell.
Look at
Yeah.
looks like a cruiserweight or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Well, he was a cruiserweight, wasn't he, when he first started? Wasn't
Yeah, he was. But I mean, is it
But again, he's another one who shouldn't be fighting though, because he can barely string a sentence together anymore, can he? He can't,
After
can
what
he?
James Toney did to him and that as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
In his
James
career.
and James Toney's on about making a comeback as well, and James Toney is you can clearly hear
his voice.
Yeah, the damage it's taken, and I don't want to see that. I mean, you know, the trouble is about why I love fighters is because they're so honest and they want to do so well, but there's no aftercare for them.
No.
There's no. I mean, look at Joe, smoking Joe Frazier. He died in squalor, man.
Yeah.
He died with fuck all. You know, liver cancer, and he was sleeping in the gym and cleaning it. Come on, these are all-time greats, and we see that with ties, don't we, Lee?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, they end up tuk-tuk drivers and these fantastic fighters and entertainers over the years. I've got nothing but love for boxers and fighters, and I just wish that it was looked after better. Really do.
Like going back to what you just said, then opening the doors for all these crazy fights. That there's so many like Shannon Briggs keeps fucking posting ridiculous stuff on
But
his
to be
Instagram.
fair, I'd rather watch him fight, say Shannon Briggs, than KSI fight.
Yeah,
other
yeah,
YouTube
true.
commentator.
Yeah, that is
You know,
true.
but so and by them doing that, they're opening this side show now.
That actually fucking
You
it
can't
hurts.
stop real fighters who fought before fighting if YouTube numpties can do it.
Yeah, you know what? It actually hurts my soul knowing how much they get paid for them boxing fights and
But
fucking
then
YouTubers.
you say what? Then you say, well, white collar boxing, can't you? You can say that they,
it's all
you know what I mean? Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
you know.
Thai boxers over in Huddersfield. There's no real Thai boxers.
Yeah.
So like when I talk about them, so I mates for the guy, he's a Thai boxer, 8-time world champion. My friends say to me, "Does he do real Thai boxing?" I say, "What do you mean? Does he real Thai?" I say, "He kicks him in the head and he elbows him." I say, "That's real Thai boxing." And yeah, it's real Thai boxing. Fights out in Thailand, all that. So like it's the same, that white collar shit. That's not boxing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's
Just
YouTubers
like-
on this undercard of the Jones and Tyson
Yeah, I
fight.
was not surprised. I mean, look for
Jake
white.
Paul.
I've got no argument with white collar boxing. As fans, we know what boxing is, but if they're doing it for charity, they want to do it. I get that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
totally
it's
get. If people want to have a go at
charity.
head guards
Yeah.
and all that, and as long as they're safe. But for me, what hurts me most is seeing. You know, I seen an interview with Iran Barkley. Remember the Blade Iran Barkley,
yeah.
and he's like, you know, you can clearly see that boxing's took its toll. And I think they should be looked after better, and I think they should look into that, especially people like Hearn and Arum and people like that who earn the money through them.
Yeah.
I think they should. I think they should have some
there's
sort
there's
of.
no aftercare for a
No,
fighter, and
there isn't.
But then, the same way, we haven't earned the money that footballers and such
Yeah.
and such
Yeah.
spots.
Okay.
So they don't have to worry about the aftercare because one, they haven't been punched in the head 5,000 times a year, and two, they've got money in the bank to not have to worry, and they've been able to invest well. Whereas I know kids who have been British champions, kids who have been to Olympic qualifiers and not quite made it, and they're back at home with their mum and the piss heads, and
It's sad to
because
see that.
they've just blown all the money. I've been fortunate that my missus has put me on straight and said, like, we're going to buy some houses, blah blah blah. So I've got something out of boxing.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of I'd imagine 90% of fighters don't get nothing out of boxing.
This is the undercard here, lads.
Right.
Badou
Oh,
Jack.
Badou Jack.
Oh, Barrow Jack.
Don't know who's fighting. Blake,
I'm not
Kernan.
rid of him. But you know, going
Dal
back,
Riley.
going back to that though, saying about these fighters and stuff like that, I just wish that they was looked after better, and because I'm such a fan. I mean, I'm a massive fan of it. I'm a massive fan of the fighters, and I have heroes I worship. You know, obviously Jones and Lomachenko and stuff like that, and Pernell Whitaker, etc. I mean, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, pissed one in, not run
Yeah,
over.
that was
I mean,
sad.
he's a fucking.
That was sad.
You know, it's sad to see, man. It really.
I mean, it
is.
doesn't even have to be like funding the rest of their life because they've made no money. But throughout the career, showing them what to do
Yeah.
to make a life after it.
I always loved fucking how Eubank used to call the promoters out on stuff like that about not looking after the fighters and just being greedy and stuff like that. I always he always said it like from early doors, didn't he, in his career? He just said it's fucking they're just out for themselves and stuff like that. I used to love how he used to like call them out on that.
Yeah, well, whoring them out, aren't they?
Yeah,
Sometimes. I mean, who was it I seen the other day, and another one that I absolutely adored, Meldrick Taylor, and he's just been arrested for. He had a tenant in one of his houses, but he looks fucked.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, when do you stop? When do you tell them to stop? Are you right when they stop? It's such a vicious life.
Right, coming back to Jones and Tyson, then if they do start throwing down proper, who are we going for? 'Cause again, that's another one where you just don't know what's going to happen, do you?
If Tyson can't get rid of him early, I think Jones wins.
Yeah.
But if Tyson catches you, it's game
Yeah,
over. Isn't it?
yeah.
Jones's knees are fucked, so he hasn't got the legs.
They ain't gonna move
If he had
around.
the legs, I'd give him a shot. But he does that laying on the ropes, worst thing ever.
Yeah.
For Mike
Can't do
Tyson,
that,
yeah.
worst thing.
Yeah, you can't do
ever.
that against him.
So I can, I don't know. I don't want to see it. I'll watch it though. I say I'm not watching it and go, are you up?
No intentions of watching
No.
it, but I'm going to watch
Yeah,
it.
I have no intention. Yeah, exactly. But I just think if Tyson touches him, he cleans him out.
Yeah.
So, but you don't know the fragility of Mike Tyson's
Yeah,
mental side.
yeah.
You know, I know. I'd say Tyson. You know, because if Roy Jones has to stop for any amount of time on them ropes, it's bye-bye.
Yeah. Who are you going with?
Yeah, you've got to go with Tyson.
Yeah.
Just for exactly what Vinny's saying.
If Enzo McAnally can fucking put you out, then if he Tyson lands,
Could
on
bang Enzo McAnally too,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
I see.
you know, right. I'm gonna go with Tyson. I can't not. It's
I'm glad we've all agreed because we all
Hey, we all look knobheads then.
No, because
when
I
it's
said
right.
it, it'll go wrong.
Right, boys, that hour absolutely flown. We've gone through a lot there. We've got a lot of big fights coming up in December as well. So if you're up for it doing it again,
100%, yeah.
we'll do this again.
We're getting Danny or Skerritt on.
we get Skerritt in.
Do you enjoy that? Dan?
Cheers, Dan. Nice one, mate.
You didn't say much, did you? You got to drop your water.
Just want to give your socials a shout out, Tyrone.
Was it? At Tyrone Nurse Official on Instagram. I don't use Twitter because it's full of knobheads, so don't waste your time. So, there you
Vinny?
go.
Yeah, Vinny Shoreman on and I don't use Twitter either because I think it's a cesspit. So there you go. Yeah, on Instagram, yeah.
We'll be back next week. We've got some good guests lined up. Josh Warrington, if he ever texts me back, he will be on soon. You're listening, Josh. We've got Pete Crook, we've got Damien Alamos, we've got a lot of good guests lined up. We're back for another boxing one. We'll be back for a Thai boxing roundup as well because there's been a lot of good Muay Thai fights on lately. And we've got some good things to look forward to. So we'll see you all again soon.